All right, guys, gonna be an exciting day. It is Friday. It is sunny. And once again, we're here at Davis Auto Sales in Richmond, Virginia. I'm JW Davis, and we have got a fun one. We're going to be up at the off-road shop shortly, filming some stuff in conjunction with Mickey Thompson and Davis Off-Road for the release of the crew cab Squarebody multi-generational steps. But we also got the 87 V10 out, and it is getting ready to have, yes, sir, V10, 87, and we always talk about rare. I do think we have got probably one of the rarest, and I know we use it all the time, and some people are like, oh my gosh, that's not rare. That's a this. Look, if there's no more that we've touched, we think it's pretty rare. This one here, I didn't think about it at first as to how rare it really was. 87 V10 Silverado Stepside. Wood bed. Dual tank truck. I don't know the number. One day we'll sit down and figure it out, but it's in the thousands of square bodies that we've had, owned, bought, sold, traded, and or lifted in the off-road shop. We've only had one other, and it was 24 years ago. I've got the picture. It was white. It was on 35s. It's the only other V10 87 Stepside we've ever had. Now, to break that down a little bit, for you that have already fallen off your couch in the V10 terminology, the V is because of 87. The 10 series, which would have been K prior, left this planet in 87. So this was a 1 year only V with fuel injection, 350 throttle body. You zoomed in on the fuel injection part, didn't you? All right. And then of course stepsides were rare to start with. Dual tanks on a stepside, pretty freaking rare. This truck was pretty much sold as soon as it was saw in a video. So before you ask, this one is spoken for. It was mild. It had basic steering, basic shocks. So the customer's been patient, and he knew he had to be patient when he purchased it. Well, actually, he didn't send any money, didn't do anything. We're actually doing some trading. But he said, Jim, just keep me in the loop. And I think we've kept him in the loop pretty good. They got the Davis Off-Road steering, got the Davis Off-Road track bar. After we started putting that stuff together, he said, obviously, I got to have the steps. He was already a step owner because he bought steps and had them installed on one of his square bodies. Again, it's filthy. It's still got to be clean. But then he said, JB, could we do the Fox shocks with reservoirs? I'm like, we can. Yes, sir. So we did it. He asked the other day about headers. Yes, it does have long tube headers. Got the shocks in the back. It's got the finned aluminum differential covers. It got the power steps. And along the way, he also said, Jeb, you got a window tint guy? Yes, sir, we do. Can you add that to the list? I sure can. Unfortunately, he was busy at the time. We got it to him. He got it done exactly to the spec. He wanted the brow. He wanted a certain darkness on the windows. We did exactly what he asked for. Then he said, JW, I really would like to have a cloth seat. No problem. Can we change the dash? Yes. So a few more things were added to the list. We were able to get them done. Now, not every style, not every color, not everything is available for these trucks. So you'll notice some things are a little shade here or there. But look at the fitment. Just go back in there one more time, AJ. Look at the fitment on that seat. It is pretty cherry. Of course, they got the LED lights. So TJ, he shipped in a steering wheel. That is not and no, the alignment's not off. The steering is turned when AJ backed it in. But that is an awesome upgraded steering wheel. The windows work, the locks work, the cruise works. Everything works on this truck. The AC even works. So I told TJ, I said, you're finishing it up late. He was doing the finalization of the dash. I said, drive it home. He said, really? He said, I love that truck, Dave. I said, drive it home, put some miles on it, doesn't matter. We changed the oil. TJ's text this morning was, JW, it's been a long time since I've been in a square body that drives that good. Now, of course, he's usually not in the square bodies, and when he is, he's in them before we do everything to him. He said, yeah, that truck not only turned every head, he said, it drives well. All the lights behind the instrument cluster work. And I was like, TJ, that's how we do things, man. And he was just blown away. Again, he's on the beginning side a lot of times instead of the finalizing side. So for him to drive it, I was like, look, it's pretty much ready. We do need to slip a drive shaft in the back. Was not happy with the length of engagement on the rear drive shaft. That is sitting at the shop. That has arrived. We still have to slip that up in there. Daniel's got to do a final retort. Customer did ask today, can we polish the wheels? Unfortunately, polish guy's a little busy, but we're going to get it squeezed in. One of the other things I love about this truck, you can still see the nubs on these tires. These are 36, 15, 50, 16 Mickey tires. Maybe 15s. That's what I think they are. No, they're 16s. I was right the first time. Mickey Thompson MTZ tires that are brand spanking new. They're old, but they are brand spanking new. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but you do not see that or find that. And they're on a set of 16 wide wheels, which really puffs them out nice. We just had one of our very good customers that loves a black square body. He's one of AJ's neighbors, stop by driving his Cadillac CTS V Blackwing edition. And he's no stranger to a square body in black. Matter of fact, the last one he had, he was getting ready to have some surgery. It was a manual. He said, yeah, but I'm not going to be able to drive this truck no longer for a while. Will you sell it for me? Sure. I ended up selling it to the owner of Jegs. Jegs, J-E-G-S. Anybody in the auto world knows who Jegs is. I sold it to one of the owners. It's a family. Now they have since sold out, but they were owners at the time I sold it to them. So that was pretty cool. And it went in his personal collection. It was a short bed black square body. And while we're out here, obviously Brown Bear's getting a little sun today. And did we say that in this video yet? Or was that the previous video about the sizes and the styles? Today? Got it. Okay. Well, we won't rehash on that but so much. But I do want you guys to at least, well, look at the red crew cab for sure. Because when it leaves, other side, sun, yeah. It may not be back for a while, but this time in, this truck got a little change in the front spring, aluminum fin diff covers. It already had the Fox reservoir shocks. We got to put the front center caps on, but those are 16 by 12 classic 2s. I do say those in a few minutes, as you guys will see when we edit this video. But power step truck, crossover steering, track bar. This was one of our favorites. Still is one of our favorites, and it's with one of our very, very, very good customers. So happy we could do the little tweaky little things he wanted done. Thrilled he's going to get it back. He's having it ceramic coated, paint corrected this weekend with a detailer. So we got to get it back to North Carolina. Raymond is over there about to unload another new arrival that is still needing some finishing touches, but I'm going to bring you guys a little bit of a tour around it to get started, and we can kind of work out the final details. So thanks, guys, a whole lot. I really do appreciate it. We got a couple little things to splice in here today. The Davis Off-Road is coming at you now. All right, guys, sponsor of today's video is Davis Off-Road. We're up here at the shop. Pulled Daniel away for a few minutes talking about some crew cabs. We actually happen to have a couple crew cabs in. Also talking about some Mickey Thompson. So Mickey Thompson has been excellent about their supply and demand of product and pumping out lots of new product to get back in the old school game. And you got two different examples sitting right here. You got the Mickey Thompson Legend MTZ on both trucks, one with a 10 wide wheel, one with a 12 wide wheel. So identical tire, very similar wheel, both from Mickey Thompson. Got the canyon in the background. We call it the slot, and the round hole traditional right here. The other factor about these trucks and the ones behind us are their crew cabs. Crew cabs were the last of the production that Daniel's been working on tirelessly to get in production, some paperwork straight, for the power steps. Now these two trucks, we snuck this one out at one of the shows, so of course it had to have the steps on it. This is for one of our excellent customers that couldn't go without steps because he's a little more age on him, but still a spry little fella for what he is. But he wanted the power steps as well and has them on all of his beautiful red square bodies. So I'm gonna let Daniel talk about those a little bit. But in the background, you see the big crew cab there. Looks like a skip leg day. Well, it looks just like his owner because it looks like he skipped leg day too. But it is a crew cab short bed, and that's a whole video for a whole build series coming very soon. And then the red and white crew cab here is going to get the first set of the final perfected power steps. Brackets are coming back from powder coat and they'll be installed. That's a 2.0 package. Next video you guys will see up here not only will probably be about either this truck or it will probably be about the 3.0 package that we're really excited about too. So go lead it over to Daniel so he can show you all the goodies on these things.
All right, guys, the last of our steps on the square bodies was the crew cab with factory side tanks. And we've been building steps on square bodies for years and years and years. And as y'all seen over the past couple of years, we've got them to what we call a production level, where you can purchase them. They show up to you in a box. It's everything you need, all the hardware, full color instructions, full wiring diagram. We get it to what I call the average Joe point, where the average guy can buy them with regular hand tools. And if anything special is needed, we actually send it in the kit to where they can bolt them on in their driveway. They're no cheap venture. If any of y'all have ever priced out power steps, the steps themselves are almost $2,000. And that's if they bolt on your 2025 model truck that they produce them for in the thousands and thousands daily. To do these steps, get the brackets to production level, I'm still literally hand welding every single one of these things for you guys and packaging them, the whole 9 yards. Nothing's changed. We haven't outsourced any of this. So to get them to that level, it just takes some time. And then patent paperwork, waiting on filing to be done before we release them. So we still do installs here, but before I start sending them all over the country like all of our other step products and steering and all that has to be finalized and done. So I'm proud to say within the next 1 to 2 weeks, these will be ready to ship. They'll be on the website. Y'all will obviously see it here. I'm sure I'll get some phone calls. I've got probably 2 or 3 pages line to line worth on a notebook of people to call as soon as they're ready to ship. And that's what I'm going to do. We'll start at the first one and go all the way through just like I promised I would. And we'll put as many kits as we can together as quickly as we can, along with all of our other products. I'm sure y'all know by now that everything that we make is here in-house. Everything that we build is done by me and Brian. And it's just a whole lot of undertaking on the day-to-day to get this stuff to y'all. So as always, appreciate the patience. I think we do a hell of a job getting this stuff out to you very quickly. If y'all sat around here for a day and saw what we did, you would understand. There are also a few things on the crew cabs that a lot of people don't know. The rear doors never had door pin switches on the crew cabs to activate the dome light. They only had them in the front doors. Suburbans, even though the doors and everything are the same, they had pin switches in the rear doors. You just have to wire into them, of course. So with our kits, we'll come with the pin switches, the wiring for those to tie them into the front. There's a lot of pieces and parts that are more on a crew cab or Suburban than a regular cab truck. And as always, when we open that box, we want it to be 110% complete. That's really our MO on all our products, and that's why we offer them. We want something that you can open up and you don't have to go to the parts store. You don't have to figure this part number out. You don't have to continue to search and build and fabricate once you buy a perfected product. One thing you'll notice on these steps is with the tanks, you can only put the step up but so high before it contacts the gas tank. On a square body, the gas tank hangs down below the rocker almost an inch below the lowest paint line. We can't go any farther than that if you don't want to modify your factory truck. This one's a great example right here. If you get down level with it, AJ, you can see that the tank hangs below. Some people still had the factory skid plates on the tanks. That does have to be modified or removed, but this first tank bracket, this is what holds your fuel tank to your vehicle. We have to stop there, or we would have to lower the brackets even lower so when it closes, it does not hit that bracket. That's another thing people ask, why is the step stop before the back of the door? Well, I've been over it before, I'll go over it again. you have about 10 to 12 inches of room to put your legs in that truck when you get in. When you step in that truck, you're going to step here and get in just like so. When you step out, your foot's going to go there and out. You don't
just
step,
like walking up a set of steps at home.
you don't step at the cab corner to get in the truck. Now, some people want them to get in the bed or whatever. Even if these steps were left full entire length, they would not extend past the cab. So ultimately, whatever you can do with where they're at, you can do it if they were full length. The brackets are down below the rocker, about 3/4 of an inch. All the hardware is blacked out. It's all satin black. It's a real streamlined look when it's done. But that's just touching on a couple of questions that people have about the length of the steps, about where they're at. We do make a full tuck version, which this large GMC truck that we're building is going to get, but you have to remove the side tanks. You have to put a fuel cell or a blazer tank or something to that nature in the back of the truck. Hitches, exhaust, spring hangers, there's all kinds of hurdles to cross there. And honestly, we've tried and tried and tried, but there's no perfected kit that we can offer you guys for a rear tank option that you don't have to modify one thing after another to make it happen. And nobody's looking to purchase something and then have to modify a bunch of stuff. Since we cannot get it there because of all the variations on these trucks, we just decided not to offer a rear tank option. We still do them, but to offer it for sale across the country and across all the states, it's just not something that we feel comfortable that everybody's going to be able to get done without all day long tech support. So we have that version as well. This version, just like our regular cab version, will be much, much more popular because somebody's going to have this truck that they just spent $100,000 restoring and they want to get in it, and they're not trying to redo their fuel system and drill on their paint and, et cetera, et cetera. All these are full undermount. There is no paint modification. There is no detriment to the truck. A couple of small holes drilled in a couple of key places, all the hardware provided, and they are rock solid. We've had up to 400 pounds on them, two full-grown guys. At the same time, the suspension will flex on the truck before the steps do. So we're very proud of this one, just like all the rest of them. This is the final icing on the cake to our full line of power steps. We just, as always, wanted to get them to where we can start shipping them out to you guys as quickly as you guys order them. We really appreciate all the business on all the other power steps, steering, wheels. Everything's been overwhelmingly busy with all that. We really appreciate it. We know it's you guys that are giving the business to us, and we love providing y'all with an awesome American-made product. So hopefully this will really intrigue some of you crew cab guys. A lot of people have been waiting for it. I've been telling them, watch the videos. We'll finally release it. And I know we're about a week or so early, but we're really excited about it. We've got them on a lot of trucks. We're physically putting them together right now so we can get everything shipped out and ready to ship out when you guys start to make the order. So as always, we'll do it as fast as we can, guys, but we won't compromise to get it done any faster. So thank y'all for the support.
And both of these trucks are a good example also of smaller trucks that do have the other upgrades, the crossover steering and the track bar. You see it a lot better on the bigger trucks. You'll see this one still wrapped in plastic. When everything comes back from powder coat, it's not just thrown in a box and shuffled all around. Even though some people don't care about the showy finish, it's going to leave here as a manufactured part, like it's new, like you're buying it from any race car speed shop or anything such as that. You'll see each of the bars are wrapped up. These come all packaged nicely. U-bolts. And speaking of testing with 400 pounds, this owner here,
He's going to test the limits.
He's going to test the limits of it, like if you guys ever saw him. We'll get him on video when he comes up at some point, but yeah, he's going to test the limits of that really well for us.
We'll touch a little bit on this truck right here. We will do a full video, but this was a really unique truck. Crew cab, originally long bed truck, shortened to a short bed. They did a phenomenal job shortening the bed, and we'll touch on all that in the video. It was also converted to half-ton suspension and lowered all the way down, basically dragging the ground. So not only was it a length conversion, it was a full suspension conversion and lowered, and now it is back to 1-ton converted four-wheel drive. Just so you guys know, there's really no limit to what can be done if you have the truck, and this truck was a great candidate. No rust, everything just, it's a patinaed finish, but the customer, that's exactly what he wanted. There's no limit to what you can do if you have the truck platform that you want to do it with. This truck has right at 13 inches of lift, crossover track bar, full rear spring and hanger system, which we're working on for you guys. It's one of the next things we have in works is a full bolt-on hanger system. I think JW has touched on that to give you more height without having to run custom springs. We still got some finishing things to do to this. Special order shocks. He is getting full tuck power steps with the rear tank. Something a little special gonna go right in this area right here, which is the reason we're gonna go ahead and change the fuel system. So a little bit different scenario on this one. It's gonna be an exciting one, guys. So stay tuned on this one. We'll keep you informed, and we'll have some good burnout videos at the end. I'll just go ahead and leave it at that.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you watching. We are very excited about that. Again, we've been utilizing the steps nonstop on the crew cabs because those are the ones we do jump in and drive on the daily. With the families, everybody has been loving getting in and out of them. We went to Bloomsburg and showed off the steps on that one, and people, you know, I even allowed them, even though I didn't want anybody getting in and out of that truck, but we did allow people to get in and out to see how they function and work. Because the common question I even get is, they seem short. They seem short. They're positioned right. And I will tell you, when I'm stopping in the shop, looks like Brian works in a sweatshop. He's in there putting together wires and putting together clips and bundling everything up and wrapping it up. Like literally what you guys see on a big manufacturing scale is done right here. It's not outsourced. He's constantly measuring the trucks. Thankfully, we have had hundreds and hundreds of square bodies as samples along the way, because no two square bodies really are alike at the end of the day. So a lot of things had to be adapted. Some have had rocker panels. Some have had undercarriage stuff done. Some have had floor pans and things you guys don't think about like that. All that had to be taken into consideration on these. So each time they're constantly looking, doing, and once enough of them are done, they're like, okay, this has fit the whole broad spectrum. Let's produce. It takes a lot of trial and effort to get to that point.
And there's year breaks and weird year breaks where the truck looks no different, but there's a difference in the floor pan or the way the seatbelt bolt goes through, or there's other infractions that may cause an issue to somebody that we sell a kit to in California. And, you know, proud to say that I think we've covered all that before we release anything. Just like I was saying, we want a perfected product. These trucks are 30, 40, 50 years old, guys. Even if you don't know about it, somebody could have been underneath there and put a floor pan in or inner rocker, and the truck could have only been 15 or 20 years old when that happened. It might have been decades before you even owned the truck. We've tried our best to make sure there's enough adjustment in the brackets and anything that needs to be overcome. So where, I'll be honest with you, I don't have the time to be on phone tech support all day long. I don't mind answering any questions. I take a lot of phone calls, as many as I can a day. But ultimately, when you get that and you get the instructions, it's all laid out. There should be no technical questions, and I'm happy to say that as much stuff as we sent out, I can count on probably one hand how many phone calls I've had, and it's always been from not reading the directions. So I feel like we've got everything to a perfected standpoint. As always, there'll be a hurdle somewhere, some way, some shape or form, or somebody will want to do something custom. We get people that order steering kits and they go, well, I just want to make sure it works. I got a 1950 Ford body on a 1977 Blazer chassis. Everything on the frame side is going to be good if you ordered it from us for that. I can't speak for the body conversion. I mean, obviously, you know, we can't be there for every build, but happy to help in any way that we can. Happy to provide these products with you guys. The hanger kits are going to be next, and I'm going to keep on. I've got a list of things that I want to do, but it has to make sense to us to produce them. Onesie, twosie things are cool, but they don't make sense for us to pull our hair out over. It's got to be something that all you guys are going to be interested in. Like the hanger kits, we're going to make them at 4 inches of lift height in the rear. Doesn't mean that you have to stack them on top of an 8-inch spring or a 10-inch spring or whatever. You can just put the hanger kit on with stock rear springs. You got 4 inches of lift in the rear with no block. But you can also put 4 inches of hangers on the back with an 8-inch spring and a 4-inch block if you want to, and get your truck way up there. They're going to be very universal across the board, which is why that's our next thing. And as always, we're going to test fit. We're going to check. We're going to test. And when you guys get them, there will be no questions.
All right, we'll get back to the regularly scheduled program, but pretty cool. And what he's referring to there is 3.0 combinations, and that's going to be pretty exciting. I think AJ's got things lined up where I'm going to be able to show y'all 1.0, 2.0 today, and we've got one that is not a perfected 3.0, but is close enough to show you guys so you can see the stair step of size, understand it a little bit better, and that's something that you can't buy currently. So once it's done and you want the next step bigger than your buddy or your friend, you'll be able to say, hey, I like this, that, or the other. Some people think the 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 is kind of funny, but it just eliminates a lot of questions. People see it in the video, they're like, that's what I want. That's the size I want. You guys said it had this kit. It can still be modified, shock changes, brands, different things, but for the most part, it's the size of the truck and the stance of the truck.
The ratio of the tire and wheel to lift, yes.
Yep. So you'll have 35, 40, and 44. So pretty good broad spectrum. So thanks, guys. See you guys in a little bit. Hey, this is actually one of the more fun parts of the day when I get to see a truck for the first time, and it actually is as described. This is a really nice jet black 86 that's been a project truck. And for the fella that sent it my way, no names need to be mentioned. I know you're going to watch this video, and I appreciate you putting me onto this truck. Now, the builder of this truck, unfortunately, came upon some health issues and was a business owner, didn't have health insurance. He said, JW, I really could use to sell this to pay some surgery I have coming. So it's unfortunate. And again, he named his price. The price was in line. This wasn't a steal. I paid probably twice as much as what some of you guys think should have been paid for the truck. But I got the pictures, I got some videos, and the truck was what it was supposed to be. Now, it still needs to be finished. But the hard part is done. The truck is laser straight. It is shiny jet black. The drivetrain is there. It is 8-lug converted. K10, last of K10. AJ guessed the year right off the bat. He took a stab at it. I'm telling you guys, AJ is getting it with these square bodies. But now would be the time for somebody to jump in to either do a wonderful father and son finishing product, or garage build, or we're just going to take over and knock it out. Currently, its interior needs to be done. It is dynamatted. The inside the doors are as shiny as the paint on most any truck. These door panels, seat, pick your color. Go red, go gray, go black, go charcoal, whatever you want to do. Now would be the time, but the interior would be a great weekend. If you had everything laid out, you could finish the interior in a weekend pretty easily. Let's go under the hood. Now, Raymond just got back with this. I actually sent Raymond personally just to make sure everything was going to fall into place. And we had to pay the man for the truck. So I wanted that transaction to be smooth. And I'll tell you what really broke the ice with this customer. He's also a watcher of the channel. And a lot of times it's really tough because mom also juggles a lot of things like me to determine whether to cut a check or to send a wire. We were at the end of the day. Raymond wanted to leave. I called the customer. I said, sir, I can give you a wire, but I don't know how it's going to time out with Raymond getting there. The truck was a few states away. Or I can send you with a check. He said, yeah, check is fine, dude. He said, if I got to worry about you bouncing a check, I was like, I just want to make sure you're comfortable. Some people are weird about that. And I said, don't worry. You can go cash it. It's fine. But thankfully, there are still people out there because we do business on a handshake still. This was kind of a handshake deal. I obligated for it. I think it was either 1 day or 2 days until Raymond could get there, but it was pretty quick. But air conditioning's got fresh lines. Small block looks good. Ceramic coated headers. It's a good looking truck. Blueprint engine. And again, I'm seeing this, guys, for the first time with y'all, but I've seen pictures, I've seen videos, but pictures and videos sometimes can be a little deceptive. Edelbrock carburetor, accessories look good. The belts are lining up proper. The washer bottle, overflow bottle, battery wiring's clean. It's got a lot going in the right direction. So really this truck just needs interior finishing. It's on brand new Toyos. Mickey Thompson wheels, got the stainless shocks, front drive shaft's proper, 6 inches on this one currently with 35s. So if somebody wants to get ahead of us, look down if the sun's not too bad, you can see the top of that bed side right there and the body side. It's a great truck. So if you do want to put your little touches personally on a truck, this would be the truck to do it on. I'm very impressed. Again, body and paint goes a long way. This body and paint is right. And here we go. So I forgot this part. The man owned a body and paint shop. He's his own business. He owns a body and paint shop. So obviously he put his pride and effort into this truck. And again, you know, it was the right timing. It was the right situation. It still needs some things hooked up. Again, some wiring to be finished, the interior to be finished. But what a cool truck. So very happy with that. We're getting ready to go across the street, and I'm going to show you guys a blue square body Stepside I think y'all are going to love, and I need the video anyway because the customer's been asking for it. And I think we're almost done for the day. Thanks, guys. Okay, AJ is working on what I've been promising y'all for a while, a lineup of year trajectory. And we're going to get it done at some point next week because we have a couple of the rare ones right now. Round headlight 80, square headlight 80, and 81, which is by itself. Some of the others don't have much differences. We'll throw them out of the curve. 79, which looks a lot like an 80, but it's not the same. So we got some really cool stuff to bring y'all. But while we're over here, AJ just brought this one back. This one is sold and spoken for, but AJ just brought this one back from the exhaust shop. Had a little punch list on this truck. You guys probably recognize it. We did sell it before, and now it's going to a really, really, really cool collection and good customer. But he asked for ceramic coated header, so do a little shot up under that way, AJ. Yep, come up this way. Come up from the front. Best way you can see it. Ceramic coated headers were installed and full exhaust. Exactly the way he wanted it run, which each of his trucks, and I say each because he has a lot of trucks. This man we refer to, and I like keeping my customers private so we don't throw names out there, but he's a great customer, great guy. Y'all are getting ready to see, if you hadn't already in this video, one of his other trucks. Spoiler alert, it's red. Check her from the backside there. Each one of his is different. He's got some running out the back. He's got some running out the side. He's got some over here. He's got some dumping. We try to keep the exhaust a little different for him. Fox shocks on this truck. Davis Offroad 2.0 package. Tires, wheels, steering, track bar. This one has an actual permanently mounted removable bracket, I should say. But you see a lot of these steps mounted to the rocker panel. When we did these steps, we went all in for that, and I think he's going to leave them, though he has power steps on all the other trucks. The chrome looks good, and Brian and Daniel put a lot of effort into making those brackets proper. So, really cool truck. Beautiful interior. AJ just drove it 20-some miles, so as big as this truck is, you know, that's a decent drive. Might have even been close to 30 miles, but did great. So, it is a cool piece. Everybody loves the big red square bodies, and I know the last big red square body that was similar to this, which actually went to the same customer, that video of it running went ridiculous online. Yeah. Everybody says fake. That was fake. It was AI, but it was not. It was actually that truck running. It had a super choppy cam. This truck, a few other little touches we did. It got a vintage air completion compressor. Air condition is still original GM on here, but it had been unhooked when it got a blueprint motor put in it. So we got all that put together with the right compressor and the right lines and the right fitting. That turned out really good. It does have a large cowl hood on it. Dana 60 axle, 14 bolt, disc brake converted in the back, dual steering stabilizers. It's checking off all the boxes for everybody. But we'll get back over here early next week. We did get a lot of these vehicles out. We got a lot of them positioned differently because they're sold, getting ready to be sold, getting ready to move to the next stage of things. But it's going to be really neat. And then we are going to also show you guys the 1.0, the 2.0, and 3.0 all beside each other. But we're going to have to do that video next week. We're not going to get to it. And then the Square Body School about the V10, as promised, will be in there as well. In fact, that beside the Stepside would be killer. Okay, all right, you got to do that, AJ. Before he leaves, you got to do that. So, stitch it all together. Finish up with the blue truck. We will see you guys next week. All right, while we're on Square Body fun and Stepside fun, we'll just keep on rolling today. So this truck is still yet to be washed since it came to us. and we were very undecided. We were going to start stripping things off of it. I had written up the service ticket. AJ literally just brought it back to the car lot because really the only thing on the electrical side of things was a temperature gauge and then some miscellaneous service stuff and the speedometer. And of course, well, I shouldn't say one or two things. It's always plenty more than that. But this truck, according to what we know, obviously it's bounced around. You guys always comment, I've seen that truck. I saw it here. I saw it there. I saw it there. Ed Jones, I believe, was the original builder of this truck, according to what he's told us. And man, he's had some cool trucks and he's built some cool trucks. And this one still impresses us because of the fact it's old school cool, but it's not overdone or underdone. It's just done proper. It's got the color keyed, I don't know how you want to say it, multi-tone colors. What's the right way to? Legos. AJ calls it a Lego truck. But it's just so many different colors, but with the gold and the zinc bolts and the stainless and the bump stops. Again, you guys got to come from my era. This is exactly what every show truck looked like. All of them just had their different colors. But when you do this, you can surely see that somebody took the truck apart and spent a lot of time. And Daniel was just commenting the other day too. He said, you know, we've seen this truck for years. I've had multiple people reach out to me that wanted to swap or trade that owned it. But once we got it here and saw it in real person, in real life, it's nicer than what pictures show. It's very straight. The body lines are excellent. The color's cool because it kind of has a little bit of flip-flop in it. It's got a 489 big block. But the thing that impresses me the most is how good the frame was. Like, even look at this. The stamping you can read clearly. The exhaust is done really clean. It's not gushing out a ton of fluids. Every square body seems to leak at some point, but even the rear seal there, the drive shaft's not slid way out. It's got a cool scatter shield, pinion yoke protector. Everybody calls it something else. I mean, there's 1,000 names for it. It's got slapper ladder bars. It's just a lot of neat stuff under this truck. And again, give credit where credit's due. So I've got a customer that's very interested, but he's thinking about power steps. He's one of our repeat customers, and we're kind of working through some things with him. But he asked for a video, which I've already sent him a couple little clips of it running. But I want to do a little more thorough video so he can watch it today, sitting at his TV versus trying to look at it on his phone. And speaking of phones, I had to turn mine off so I can get this video done, just because of the fact we got lots of things going with transporters right now. And just that little caveat that we do as a courtesy, I end up having to handle. Well, let me get to something else with that too. So we'll get the sun right. So we love helping with transportation, but we have to deal with the broker. We have to deal with the driver. We have to typically help load. I was here after hours, and my employee was here after hours getting one loaded to go out yesterday. He ended up staying till the guy left, which was good. That truck's headed to New Jersey. He should be getting that very soon. Just a lot of moving parts to it. Then the customer wants the transporter's number to arrange. It's all good. It's all fine, but it's just a lot to orchestrate. So it's not just as simple as one phone call. Yesterday, we had one that showed up to load. We gave them all the dimensions. They showed up, they had the wrong trailer. So then they called and called. I have 33 missed phone calls from this dispatcher, back to back, with them trying to hustle to get another trailer put together so they didn't lose the load. I applaud that, but you would think after 3 or 4 missed calls, you would send a text message, because even on these videos, I respond to text messages. I'm not being rude, but when there's a customer in there in front of me signing paperwork, I'm responding to text messages. It might be you, the customer, that's texting, or it might be you, the customer, that's receiving your truck and needing information, or the transport. So I'm never, when I'm looking at my phone, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not checking on Facebook. I don't even have Facebook. I'm not checking on Instagram. I don't have Instagram. I'm checking to respond to customers in emails and things like that. But where I want to also touch on, when you guys call or comment, a couple people get a little snappy with, even with my mom or Mike, when they call about a particular square body that you see in a video. We do these videos so you guys can see everything that's going on. You go through every orifice. The only thing you don't see is us using the damn bathroom on these videos. I want y'all to see the truck in the background. I want y'all to say, what's that dually that just arrived? Because if I don't have to put it online and I don't have to do all that, that's great. But when it comes to the square bodies, I answer the questions. And some people get offended by that. There's nobody else in your huge organization that can answer. There's a lot of people in our organization that can answer. There's none that I'm going to allow to answer. And the reason for that is I don't want there to be any questions. If this truck needs something that I know it needs and AJ doesn't know and Christian doesn't know, or that maybe it should get upgraded, I'm going to tell you about it. And I'm also going to tell you the solution to it. And I'm also going to tell you the most adequate timeline possible. And that's where other things get a little out of hand. Timeline is very spot on. We do the best we can. I've got a couple customers right now, and I say a couple, it's probably 24 that have trucks that are bought that are going through that process, and I try to update them. Right now, we're waiting on some step brackets. That's tying 2 trucks currently up, but I'm not going to let it leave without the right step brackets. The proper ones, which y'all have just seen Daniel talking about. There's a couple others that are waiting on tires, wheels, steering and track bars, upholstery work. I keep you guys updated. But the timeline is going to be pretty accurate. If I tell you, it's going to be 30 to 60 days, it's going to be 30 to 60 days. The 2 trucks that left yesterday, they were dead on timeline. Matter of fact, they were probably a week ahead of timeline. Something could have come up. We could have got a wheel shipped in and it wasn't right. We could have got a tire that didn't balance. We could have gotten behind the shop. Everything's human. And again, hopefully you see that now after watching Daniel's video. We're not subbing this stuff out. We're doing it in-house, and we can only do so much. AJ spends most of his time, if he's not behind this camera, literally moving the trucks to the different spots: service, inspection, exhaust. Daniel test driving it for a customer, doing lives, doing FaceTimes, capturing stuff for customers like, hey, that blue truck, it looks like it had a little moisture. Yes, sir, it does. It has a little moisture in there. It also has an LED bulb. That's pretty cool. Or, hey, do those KC lights actually have lights behind them? Well, we can uncover it. We can find out. It does. They're actually there. They're not just covers. So it doesn't matter what you're asking. We'll answer it. We'll do it. But also realize it might be at the shop. It might be at the service shop. It might be in the showroom. It might be up on the rack. We had a customer call twice yesterday for about a car that's on the top rack. We can't even get it down right now because it's blocked in with a truck that doesn't run, as well as a trailer. And Dave is just here today starting to get that stuff done so we can do that. So we were on a ladder. I was hanging on there, taking pictures so that guys can get the answers to the questions. We do the best we can, but we are only human. So I guess one complaint out of 100 customers isn't too bad every now and then, or however many it is. But we did have a couple get snappy that, how come I'm the only one that can answer some of these questions? And it's not. If it's a question about a video or a picture, AJ can do it. But if it's a customer about, can I make this truck run 44s? Can I go stump jump it? Can I go ride wheelies with it? How much compression does the motor have? Some things I can't answer, and I'm not going to answer because I don't know. But fitment of tires, I can answer. Size of lift, I can answer. Quality of build, I can answer. I can go through a lot of those things. So I don't want you guys to all think you're buying a show truck when it's one of the subpar trucks, and I don't want it to be a subpar truck, and it goes all different ways. I want you to know what you're getting. So eventually, AJ is learning very fast, and AJ is going to take over the Squarebody shoes for some things for me, because the lovely part about that phone right there is if he can't answer it, he can ask me about it, or he can time me into a text conversation, or he can put me in on a phone call so that I can breathe a little bit and get back to selling some of the things that actually makes some money for us, like these equipment and these brand new trucks and some of these other things. While I'm at it, 2 things. This weekend, Virginia Motor Speedway in Saluda, Virginia. It comes up under Jamaica, Virginia. So tell everybody you're going to Jamaica for the weekend. You're going to be going to Saluda Motor Speedway. Virginia Motor Speedway. I call it all kinds of different things. I've been going there for a long time. Their mud bog is this weekend. David C, however you pronounce it, is a good friend. I just got it in my phone as David C, but I think it's S-E-A-Y. He's one of the promoters for there, and I was texting with him early this morning. I said, guys, we will get you a little plug. That is a great mud bog, and it's very family friendly. So if you're looking for something to do and you're local, That is going on this weekend, and it is a great time. We will not be able to make it, but it is going to be great. I told him next year we will dedicate to both of their dates. They have an early and a late. We'll have the mega trucks out there on display. We will have my race truck for one of the events, and there may even be something else in the pipeline for that too. So we'll get back, because I do love that event. I support it wholeheartedly. It is dear to me because of the fact every time I've gone, I've had a good time. Every time I've raced, I've had a good time. Daniel's won a lot of events there when he was racing. It's been a great spot, and there's just no bullcrap. It's a good, clean event run by good people. And then leading into that, Clark Sawyer, the owner of the facility, and his father, I feel like we're decent friends. We text every now and then. We've communicated over the years with a lot of different things and questions and different stuff. David handles a lot of it, but I'm going to have him on a podcast style video soon. He can tell you guys, if y'all are NASCAR fans or racing fans in general, he's got some serious history, and his father does as well. So if you're from local, you already know the name, you already know what I'm getting ready to get into, but I'm going to leave that part a secret because I want the podcast to be as good as possible. So for now, we'll call it a wrap.